I think back to a time when my family and I were going to Disney World during spring break. But from the moment we walked inside of the airport, we were overwhelmed with the amount of people there and the amount of baggage that was surrounding us. I distinctly remember my brother saying, "Oh my God, why is this line so long? When is it ever going to end? I just want to get inside the airplane and get inside a hotel and go to the pool. Why is this line taking so long?" I mean, does he hear himself? We're going to Disney World during spring break. Obviously there's going to be a crowd, right? Well, this is much easier to say than actually experience, but it serves to show that we automatically turn what's supposed to be a fun experience into a stressful one. We as humans have a tendency to avoid what's happening in the moment and think pessimistically right away. We anticipate pressure and stress and don't even think about the other possibilities. We anticipate this pressure from the moment we wake up in the morning and go to school to the moment we go to sleep. There's just always so much drama involved, from when we're on our way to school and we see the 100 of cars parked inside of the parking lot. Oh my God, there's so many cars here. Oh, it's going to take forever to get inside of the building. And this turns just into a conversation starter. This just automatically ruins our day by turning something as trivial as the amount of cars in the parking lot into something that will make the rest of our day just as dreadful. In addition, we might expect to do bad on a test, and then when we actually do bad, we end up suffering twice. I mean, if you were to tell yourself that you were to do well, and then you did bad, you'd really only be suffering once, right? Not only this, but anticipating stress this early can ruin good relationships with people. We are all caught up in this kind of frenzy where we have to prove that we're more stressed and busier than the people around us, and this really impacts and restricts communication between us. So, how can we prevent this anticipation of stress? Why do we have to suffer more than we actually have to? Why can't we just bring a little bit of light into our situations? All this takes is a little bit of humor. As Mark Twain once said, the human race really only has one effective weapon, and that is laughter. And this does hold to truth, and it is the fastest remedy to relieving stress inside of our brains. For example, we have pills to relieve bodily aches, headaches, etc. But the fastest solution to easing stress inside of our brains is laughter. So, where does laughter come from? Why do we find things funny? This has been something that has been debated for a long time by psychologists and philosophers. Maybe it was a way to alert us that something that was dangerous was not actually as dangerous as we thought. Or maybe laughter was used as a way to make children get along with each other. Despite the fact that there's not a solid explanation, there have been many theories of humor that have been developed. For example, there's the relief theory that says that humor comes from relieving the tension that's inside of your brain. Kind of like a hydraulic engine, with laughter serving the role of a steam pipe pressure valve, where it relieves the tension that's inside of your brain. There's also the superiority theory, where humor comes from self-esteem enhancement. Finally, there's the incongruity theory, which says that we find humor from getting an outcome that we didn't exactly expect. This is the most effective theory of humor, in fact, where humor comes from unexpected punchlines. For example, my friend was telling me last week that she was about to go through one of the most dangerous and difficult experiences ever. And then she proceeded to tell me it was just the fact that she had to go a day without her phone and spend the day with her mother. So now that we've discussed these multiple theories of humor, let's talk about what exactly happens when we hear a joke. When we hear a joke, our frontal lobe processes it and sends a wave to the rest of our body, which immediately evokes a feeling of laughter. This laughter releases endorphins in our brain via opioid receptors, kind of like an antidepressant. This leads to better feelings of unity and social bonds with the people around you. It was even found in a study that laughter can help your heart and has an anti-inflammatory effect on the heart, as it can prevent the blood vessels inside of your heart from being exposed to a cardiovascular disease. With many of these reasons why humor can help our bodies, it can also serve as a coping mechanism in many different situations, whether it's medical situations and with mental health problems. It can help both physicians and patients in tough times. For example, it can help patients who deal with really tough situations inside the hospital by giving them hope and by giving them some kind of motivation to keep going. With physicians and nurses, it can help them ease feelings of depersonalization and mental exhaustion and can give them a higher feeling of accomplishment. In addition, with mental illnesses like anxiety, which is the most common mental illness in the United States, anxiety tends to shrink the part of our brain responsible for storing memory and ideas, and it tricks that part of the brain in thinking that memories related to anxiety and stressful situations are the ones worth storing. Humor can replace these terrible feelings of stress and anxiety and danger and threat and replace them with feelings of success and satisfaction. In addition, humor can in fact enhance the learning experience in many different ways. For example, in a college study, it was found that with college students studying language, humor allowed them to become more interested in what they were learning, and it even helped them build a stronger relationship with their teacher. This is because humor is able to lighten up the environment, allowing you to think more creatively and more freely. In addition, in a different study, elder people were shown a funny video and they were able to report higher improvements in retaining information. This is because humor is not unlike solving a puzzle. The same aha moment that you get when finally putting that last piece in the puzzle is similar to finally understanding the joke. So in these ways, humor is related to knowledge, and they can light up your brain. Humor can lead to feelings of satisfaction, which can allow you to live a more pleasurable and successful lifestyle. It can help you communicate with those around you better, and it can help you deal with tough situations. It can contribute to multiple virtues like knowledge and creativity and thought in general. So the next time that you're waiting in a long line and you're anticipating it to take forever and you become automatically worried, don't do that. Instead, maybe crack a joke with your family or play a game. Instead of ruining an experience which is supposed to be fun, you can create a memorable one by adding a little bit of light to it. Thank you.